to apply for scholarships. And a really great example of this is one of my students. He didn't start on scholarships until he was a college sophomore. So, by many family standards, what they would consider really late for him to be getting started. But he and his mom felt like they had nothing to lose. So, they got started on scholarships. He has now earned enough money to completely cover his junior and senior years of college. Half of college completely paid for as a college sophomore. I mean, he's running circles around most students who only apply for scholarships during their senior years of high school. So there is hope. Even if you have a student who's in college, you're not out of time because you're paying for college per semester. So as long as there are semester bills remaining, like Latia, yes, there's still opportunity. There's still time to defray that college bill. So the question now becomes, do we want to put in the work now or later? Because the work is going to have to be put in at some point, right? Do we put in several months or years of work now to find and win those scholarships? Or do we kick the can down the road and definitively have to work 20 plus years post grad to pay off that debt? Which do you choose? And my guess is that you are in this class because you want to take the first route. You want to earn those scholarships. You want to pay for college that way. And maybe you and your student have been very diligently applying for scholarships, but they haven't been hearing back yet and they haven't been winning. And you're starting to get discouraged and you're thinking, should we keep going? Is this worth it? And I really want to encourage you that virtually every single scholarship winning family that I have ever met, including my own, started off at that point of not winning. That is entirely normal. That is par for the course. That is just how it goes. But what matters is your willingness to stick through the hardest part, which is the beginning. One of my students, Isaac, I met him when he was a college freshman. And he shared with me that he had been applying to so many scholarships during his high school senior year, hadn't won anything. And I said, you know what, Isaac? You're not born to win scholarships or not born to win scholarships. This comes down to building on your strategies, your skills. Are you willing to make these tweaks on your applications, make these changes on your essays? Yes, he was willing to do that. And on his first scholarship after that point, he won $7,500 as a college freshman. And so I want to get a sense of where you all are at in your scholarship journey because maybe you're feeling like Isaac before he won his first scholarship, and that's more camp number 2 here. But drop this in the chat. Which of these describes you the best? Are you more camp number 1? We don't know where to start. We're just getting going in the scholarship process. Camp 2, we've tried applying and we haven't seen success yet. Or camp number 3, we have won one or several and we want to win more. Very good. I see a great mix of camp 1ers, camp 2, Eileen, Crystal, Robert, Jessica, Leah. Very good. I see Adila is in camp 3. Congrats to your family. Got your foot in the door. Now we just need to keep those scholarships incoming. Very good. So for those of you in camp 1, you really have a fresh, clean slate when it comes to scholarships. You don't have habits when it comes to this process. So we're going to leverage that to your advantage. By the end of this class, you are going to be able to hit the ground running. For those of you in camp 2 and 3, you're really going to be self-diagnosing as we go through this class and recognizing, oh, we were making that mistake without even realizing it. And that was holding us back from winning scholarships. Or, oh, this strategy, now we can add that to our toolbox to increase our chances of winning. So whether you are camp 1, 2, or 3, by the end of our time together, you are going to be equipped with secrets, strategies, knowledge that completely transforms how you view and tackle scholarships. It is going to boost your confidence. You are going to know more than 99% of other families out there. So, as we get into the 5 scholarship secrets up next, feel free to take notes. If you want to take screenshots of the slides, that is fine by me, and minimize distractions. I don't want you to miss out on this invaluable info as we get going. The 5 best kept scholarship secrets. This is our outline, and then we're going to go in depth on each of these. Secret number 1, It is rarely too early or too late for your child to win scholarships. We're going to talk about the magic bucket breakdown, how they get the money, how it's saved. Two, your child does not have to be the most talented or accomplished kid in school to win. So, what judges are actually looking for? Three, your finances are not a barrier to winning scholarships. Why you don't have to be low income and how we can swing the door wide open to qualify you for thousands more dollars in scholarships, no matter what FAFSA says. Four, scholarships do not have to take a ton of time. How your child can earn more for college via scholarships than by working a part time job, how much time we should be spending on scholarships per week, and how we can decrease our time spent on scholarships as we go along. And fifth and finally, the most untapped lucrative scholarship source that is right under your nose. We're going to be covering the mistakes that a lot of families make unknowingly that are holding them back from winning scholarships, even though they're putting in the time. And then we're going to be getting into where to seek out those less competitive awards that your student can apply for. I'm going to be sharing with you a list of places that took me 2 years to figure out. There are going to be opportunities for each and every one of you on that list, and really excited to cover that. We're going to dip into those less competitive scholarships, how to seek those out in secret number 5. So let's get into secret number 1. And if you have not shared this with me in the chat yet, I am curious, what are the grades / age ranges of your students? I mean, maybe you have a 9th and a 12th grader or a student in college. Even if you have elementary and middle school students, I'm curious to see what their ages are. So your whole family, all your kids, what are their different ages? So Christy has a junior. Nia has a 10th grader, freshman for Melissa. And is that high school or college? Lee has a junior, Jocelyn, a senior, Carrie Jr., 10th and 12th for Mate. Very good. That's the same age difference that my sister and I were. I love it. See seniors, 11th and 9th, college freshmen, 12th and 8th for Lorraine, 8th grade for Angela. Andrew has a 6th, 7th, 9th, and 12th. So there's something I want to point out here that's really amazing. Even Sarah's 5th grader, Anna's 4th grader, Sheena's 2nd grader, Gwen's 6th and 5th grader. Are you seeing a pattern here? Every single one of these students qualifies for a scholarship right now. That is how wide open eligibility is for saving up for college. It's amazing. And we're going to be focusing here predominantly on 9th grade through senior year, but this is such a wonderful tactic to grasp because most families don't realize this and they miss out on so much money because the majority of money that they would actually qualify for can be earned during these years outside of 12th grade. So it really is incredible that you're starting this process as soon as you can. We don't want to wait because we don't want deadlines passing us by, opportunities that your student could have in the bank account right now if they start it. And the idea that the majority of scholarships are only for seniors is a big, big myth. I once believed it. Maybe you have too, but the great news is it's just not true. I mentioned my sister earlier. She started on scholarships 2 years earlier than I did. So I started between 10th and 11th because I was the guinea pig. She started in 9th and won $100,000 more than I did because of this. But we both graduated debt free. So what was the difference here? I didn't know until I was a junior, sophomore in college that I was going to be able to graduate debt free. Whereas my sister knew by her senior year of high school that she could go pretty much anywhere and get it completely paid for with scholarships. For those of you with younger students, if you take one thing away from this class, let it be that starting sooner rather than later can make such a big difference. You will have fewer gray hairs. You will have a stockpile of scholarships going sooner rather than later. And even if you have a student who's already in college, I also want you to know that you are not out of time. Because if I had only applied for scholarships during my 12th grade year, I only would have won $16,925. And that would have been great, but it wouldn't have paid for all of college. So if you have a student who's in college already, do not stress. They have more time than you think. Unless they've already paid for their final semester, there's still time to cover that college bill. If you focus in on this and implement what we're discussing here just over the next few months or even the next year, do exactly what we cover, your family will be able to win so many more scholarships than families who don't know these strategies, who maybe have been applying for years now. So don't worry, we're going to make up for lost time. And that really is my goal for this class. So let's sink our teeth into the different types of funding available and when and where to look. I call this the magic bucket breakdown. So we have outside scholarships, inside scholarships, and FAFSA and loans. What are the main differences between these? Outside scholarships are going to be our main focus today. This is money that is coming from outside of the college, hence the term outside scholarships. Instead, it's coming from private third party sources. We can win this money long before going to college. We can win it once we're in college. It can be used at most colleges and universities. It's available 5th through 12th grade, college, grad students, adults, trade school, junior college students. They're less competitive and the small awards add up. We're going to circle back to this. The second bucket is inside scholarships and FAFSA. This typically comes in big chunks at once during your student's 12th grade year. So, for those of you with seniors in high school, pretty soon, if they haven't already started, they're going to be applying for colleges, getting accepted, potentially even receiving some award offers from those schools. And a lot of families are under the impression that that is where their scholarships from the college are capped, that their student cannot get any more after that point. That is not true. And it is very good news because there are multiple ways that your student can actually increase their scholarships from their college by thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. I have seen this happen time and time again, and I'm going to tell you how. There are two particular ways. First, your student can absolutely negotiate their original offer. Yes, they can ask the college for more money. Now, this request is not going to threaten their admission. The college isn't going to take away any of the money that they've already given your student. So, what it only opens this up to is potentially increasing your students' awards before they commit to where they want to attend. Now, once they're enrolled at a college, it is really important for them to keep an open line of communication with the financial aid office. There are scholarships that are not widely advertised by the financial aid office that are for currently enrolled students. So, second semester freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors that are funded by outside donors or alumni, even the general campus fund. I have seen students increase their scholarships by thousands of dollars just by asking what's available semester over semester. And so I want to make sure that your family also has the opportunity to do that because most families don't know they can. If you have additional questions about this or talking to financial aid, just let me know once we get to our Q&A section later on. But I wanted to make sure that this was on your radar because this will increase your student scholarships by a significant amount. Let's get into the third bucket here, loans. No family should feel guilty about taking the loan route, especially after they've navigated scholarships and done the best they can in that realm. I really want you to be equipped with the right knowledge to make that educated decision for your family because there are going to be differences in terms of those different loan options. And two key words that I want to highlight for you are subsidized versus unsubsidized. Typically, with a subsidized loan, the interest will be frozen on that loan and will not start accruing until your student graduates college. Whereas with an unsubsidized loan, the interest will start compounding right away. There are other pros and cons to these loans, so we don't want to decide just based off of that, but it's important to keep in mind if your family ever starts to investigate those options. Now, when can we actually apply for and win scholarships? This is another huge secret within a secret, and is actually another main reason for why families miss out on so much scholarship money because we can be applying year round. Your student can be winning scholarships every single month out of the year. And jumping into the scholarship process right now will give you such a distinct advantage. I love the beginning of the school year because there are so many opportunities this semester that most families are not aware of that